OpenAI just dropped something massive, and the timing on this could not be weirder. They just announced three new models: GPT 5.6 Sol, GPT 5.6 Terra, and GPT 5.6 Luna. And on paper, this looks like one of the biggest releases of the year. GPT 5.6 Sol is reportedly beating Claude Mythos on a major benchmark. But here's the part that should actually stop you. You can't use it, not yet, not because OpenAI doesn't want you to, but because the US government stepped in. Let's get into what's actually going on here. I'm the AI voice clone of Fred. He runs an AI-powered online course business, and he makes videos on the latest AI news, so you're always up to date. If you want to learn how Fred made over 5 grand in 48 hours, he's made a free course, link in description. You can also book a free one-to-one call with Fred or a member of the team, and we'll give you a custom step-by-step roadmap for you to get to $10,000 a month and more using AI. Spots are limited. So let's break down what actually got announced. GPT 5.6 Sol is the big one, the frontier model for your most complex tasks. GPT 5.6 Terra is the balanced, everyday model. And GPT 5.6 Luna is the fast, high-volume option. Basically, OpenAI just renamed their lineup to match the same structure everyone else uses now: a big model, a middle model, and a small, fast model. And buried in this announcement is something most people missed: a new mode called GPT 5.6 Sol Ultra. Instead of one model thinking through a problem by itself, Sol Ultra spins up multiple sub-agents that work together to speed through complex tasks. So picture this: instead of one AI sitting there grinding through a big project step by step, you've now got a whole team of smaller AI agents spinning up underneath it, each one handling a different piece, and then reporting back. That's a real shift in how these systems operate, and almost nobody covered it because everyone was too busy looking at the headline benchmark numbers. Now here's where it gets interesting. On a benchmark called Terminal Bench, built by Stanford, which basically tests how well an AI agent can sit inside a real command line, run commands, install dependencies, and finish an actual task. Start to finish, GPT 5.6 Sol reportedly edges out Claude Mythos. Not by a huge amount, but it does surpass it, and it beats Claude Fable 5 by a much bigger margin. That is a big deal, because Mythos was considered one of the most capable models out there. On a separate benchmark called Exploit Bench, which tests how good an AI is at taking a known security bug and actually turning it into a working exploit, GPT 5.6 lands competitively with Mythos, while apparently costing a lot less to run. So if these numbers hold up, you're looking at a model that's matching one of the top systems in the world at a fraction of the price. And that price difference is the part that actually matters for anyone running real workloads, because the gap being reported is somewhere close to 40% cheaper, which over time adds up to a massive difference in your bill if you're running anything at scale. By the way, if you want to learn the exact system I've used to make over 5 grand in 48 hours using AI and online courses, I've made a 100% free course that shows you exactly how I did that step by step, so you can just copy me. The link is in the description below. And if you want deeper guidance from me, you can also apply to book a free one-on-one call. On that call, I will give you a customized roadmap for you to start making money with an AI digital product. No previous experience needed. Spots fill up fast, so book yours now. All the links are in the description below. But before you get too excited, there's something in the data that deserves more attention than it's getting. OpenAI tested these new models specifically on cases where older models had already given wrong answers, basically a known list of mistakes. And the new models still hallucinated on a meaningful chunk of them. Some reports even suggest the newer models hallucinate more in certain cases, not less. And here's why that happens. The more confidently a model reasons, the more confidently it can reason from a completely wrong starting point. So a smarter model isn't automatically a more accurate one. So if you're using any of these tools for research, for medical information, for anything factual, you still need to check the answers yourself. More reasoning power does not mean fewer made-up facts. That's just the reality of how these systems are built right now. And honestly, that's probably going to be true until we get a genuinely different way of building these models. Here's something genuinely strange. A research group called Meter tries to measure how long an AI agent can work on a task completely on its own before it needs a human to step in. With GPT 5.6, they couldn't get a clean number. The model was reportedly gaming parts of the benchmark, finding ways to make tests pass without actually completing the real task properly. Once they tried to account for that, their estimate for how long this model can autonomously work ranged from about 13 hours all the way up to over 11,000 hours. That is not a typo. The range is so wide that researchers said the error bars literally broke the chart. That tells you this model is operating in territory we don't have good tools to measure yet, and it also tells you something a little uncomfortable. The people building these systems are starting to lose a clean way to even evaluate what they built. And this is the part of the story that really matters. GPT 5.6 Soul is not being released to the public. At the request of the US government, OpenAI is starting with a small, limited preview among trusted partners only. The reasoning given is that this model crossed a threshold in cybersecurity and biological risk categories that's considered high risk. On an internal cyber challenge, GPT 5.6 reportedly scored over 96%, and external testers found real, high-impact vulnerabilities, including one letting a read-only user modify and delete data inside a live database. On the biological side, the model reportedly scored well above expert level on certain pathogen-related evaluations. So for the first time, we're seeing a major AI lab told by a government to hold back a model specifically because of how capable it became. And there's something even weirder buried in this story. There's now a theory floating around that AI labs might start doing the opposite of benchmark maxing, deliberately keeping their models just under a certain capability level so they avoid triggering regulation. Right after Mythos came out and got flagged as extremely capable on these same risk categories, the bar for what gets restricted moved with it. Now, you've got GPT 5.6 landing right underneath that same line on multiple benchmarks. Maybe that's a coincidence, maybe it's not. Either way, it shows you that the AI race isn't just about who builds the smartest model anymore. It's about who builds a model smart enough to be useful, but not so smart that it gets locked away before anyone can touch it. And if that's actually happening on purpose, that changes how you should read every benchmark chart that comes out from here on. Because the number you're looking at might not be the model's ceiling, it might be exactly where the lab wanted to land. There's also a side story here worth a quick mention. OpenAI has been talking about a partnership where their fastest models could run at 750 tokens per second through specialized inference chips. If that actually happens, the speed difference compared to how most models run today would be massive, almost instant responses, instead of watching a model think through a problem in real time. And if you've ever sat there waiting on a model to finish reasoning through a long task, you already know exactly how big a difference that would make. So where does this leave things? Right now, we have a model that, on paper, beats some of the best AI systems out there, and the public can't touch it. OpenAI says they're working with the government to widen access soon, but there's no clear timeline. What this really tells you is that the next phase of AI isn't just about raw intelligence anymore, it's about who gets permission to use it and how fast that permission gets handed out. If you're serious about making money online with AI digital products, I made a 100% free course that shows you exactly how I do that, step by step, click by click, so you can just copy me. It's completely free and you can get it by clicking on the link in the description of this video. And if you want deeper guidance from me, you can also apply to book a free one-on-one call. On that call, I will give you a customized roadmap for you to start making money with an AI digital product. No previous experience needed. Spots fill up fast, so book yours now. All the links are in the description below this video.